Hello everybody and welcome to Tuesday Talks. We are coming to you today again from Helsinki in Finland, but not from our partner kindergarten. As you can see, we're coming to you today from We Plus, and we have with us today a very special guest and a little peek as to who the guest is. There he is. So today we have with us Peter Vesterbacka. He is the co-founder of Fun Academy. He's also a fun learning evangelist and a serial entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So we have a few questions for Peter today. So I'm going to switch the camera and focus on him, and let's talk more. So Peter, you're known a lot for big brands such as Angry Birds, with Rovio, or being a marketing and brand guru, or for big infrastructural projects like the Helsinki-Tallinn tunnel at the moment.
Yeah.
So what connects you to education, or what draws you to education?
Yeah, so I actually been working on education for many years, and did a lot around fun learning already at Rovio, around Angry Birds. But again, what I always say is that I don't have any kind of like formal background in education, but happen to have two kids, and then a lot of friends, especially in Asia, with kids. So then observing, how their school days kind of like work out, and I've seen a big difference between how things are done, especially in Asia, where you have super long school days. Looking at Singapore, China, Japan, Korea. You have long school days, you have a lot of homework. Then I look at my own two kids here in Finland, so super short school days, minimum amount of homework, so you actually have school and life. And I think that is something that is super important, that you're actually not only learning at school, but I think it's also equally important, or even more important, that you learn how to interact, how to work with others when you're out there playing with your friends. So I think that you need to have a healthy balance. And the future jobs, we don't even know what they are. So I think that it's very important that we prepare our kids for the future. And the future probably will not be working in a office as we know it today, or a factory, but you really need to be prepared for being kind of like a bit of a creative problem solver. And it doesn't make sense for us to educate our kids to compete with machines, because if you try to compete with computers, robots, competing with machines is not a good idea. There are certain tasks that machines will do better and faster. So let's focus on where us humans are better and have an edge. So I think that education also should reflect that. And I think what we're working on, like at Fun Academy, the fun learning concept, it's all about that. So again, making learning fun, making learning engaging, and when you are having fun, when you're engaged, you learn better. And I think that is also then very important to take to the working life and all of that, it should be a bit of fun, and you should be enjoying what you're doing. So why shouldn't learning be fun as well?
Yeah, brilliant. And at Fun Academy, we focus on early childhood education. So essentially children before the ages of 6.
Yeah.
Why is it important to focus on the youngest citizens
I
of
think
our world?
that it's proven many studies, and there's a lot of research that the biggest impact is actually in the early years. So if you get the early years education right, then everything after that is much easier. It's actually much more difficult to try to correct various challenges, problems later on. So we believe that getting the early years right is the right thing to do, and it's actually super important. So Fun Academy, the focus on 3 to 6 year olds, it's super important, and that's also what we've seen here in Finland. So again, it's very important to focus on the early years, and again, that's exactly what Fun Academy is doing, bringing the fun learning method, the Finnish approach to learning to the world. And I think that it's super exciting to see the Fun Academy kindergartens popping up left and right. So Again, most recently we have the two very nice new kindergartens in Beijing, and then a lot of other deployments happening. So I think that yeah, it's a good start, but obviously we can do a lot more.
Great. And finally, we hear a lot of reasons as to why Finland has the best education in the world. There are lots of statistics, lots of studies out there.
Yeah.
But in your opinion, what is the best thing about Finnish education, and what is that one thing we should share with the rest of the world?
Yeah, I think that there are many things, and again, it's a combination of getting many things right that makes education in Finland fantastic. And again, I think that it's very pragmatic, but also really looking at the fact that education is only there, to prepare you for life, and that is something that is again very important. That it's not about learning for tests or school, but it's about learning for life. So this is something that I think is very much true about how education is done in Finland. So there's a lot of working together on projects. There's a lot of this kind of like theme-based learning and phenomenon-based learning that are talked about a lot, but that's actually reality in the schools in Finland. And then I think that also short school days, minimum amount of homework. That means that you have school and life. And also in Finland, what I always say is that in Finland we believe that children are people too. And then typically people like, what do you mean? And they're like laughing. But it's actually, I think, very important that we actually treat children, we treat kids as real people. So they become independent very early, they have a life of their own, and it's not always about the parents deciding everything. And I think this is something that's super important. Another thing, if I look at education in Finland, the teachers. So we have fantastic teachers. Reason we have fantastic teachers, it's not only because all of them have a master's degree, so that is of course important, but actually the teacher job is very popular. It's an appreciated, respected job, so it's actually a good job to be a teacher. It's actually so appreciated, so respected that every year we have thousands of young people that want to become teachers, but they can't because it's very difficult to get into the university to become a teacher. And I think this is something that again is very, very important, and because of this we probably have the best teachers in the world in Finland. And I think of course that then is reflected in the classroom, it's reflected in the quality of the education. So it's not just about getting one thing right, but it's about getting the system right. And that's why I'm super excited about what Fun Academy is doing, taking this model to the rest of the planet, but also working together with many different players, also the government, the public sector. So it's a great example of this private-public partnership. So education is really about doing things together. So it's not about one thing, but again, getting many things right, and we need everybody to make that so. So again, there is no single secret. It's a combination of many things, and you can also see that in the Fun Academy approach. So you should definitely check out what Fun Academy is doing, and the whole fun learning approach. I think it's super powerful, and it's something that is very important for the world.
Wonderful. And on that note, we have our teacher training coming up this summer in June. And to find out more about fun learning and also how to bring the best of Finnish education to your own region, they can join us. And perhaps, Peter, if you're around, maybe you will drop by.
Yeah, of course. And I think that's a great opportunity. So if you are more interested in fun learning and how we're doing education over here in Finland, you should definitely join the Fun Academy training coming up this June. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you there.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Tuesday Talks by Fun Academy. Remember to hop on over to our Fun Learning Facebook group, where you can find more pictures, ideas and practical tips on how to bring fun learning to your classroom. Also, please like and follow us on Facebook, and stay tuned for more episodes on fun learning. Tomorrow we have the 1st of May celebrations in Finland. So as we say, hyvää vappua, see you next week and have fun learning.